Hey, what's up guys? Mike here with Practical Training Professionals. Also have Ryan Gass here with Practical Training Professionals out here at our favorite range here in Southern Maryland. Today we're going to be doing something, well, I'm going to be doing something pretty cool. I think Ryan's just wants to eat tacos, but today we are going to be going over what is called isolation drills on with your dominant hand and your non-dominant, your support hand when firing your handgun from the holster or from the ready position. Now, this isn't new to me, or I should say this isn't my idea. I actually got this from Instructor Z. Make sure you head over there and show him some love on Tactical Rifleman and InstructorZ.com. But essentially you have this target. There are 4 1-inch blocks on this target, all right? Each one of them is going to have you do a series of fire that is going to concentrate on either your dominant hand or your support hand, your non-dominant hand, and then finishing up with both hands. What this drill is intended to do is to help you isolate what deficiencies you may have with your shot. Be it you're milking or pushing or anticipating, things like that, this drill is going to square you away. This drill is to be accomplished from 3 yards. And yeah, so with that guys, let's go ahead and get into it. I think we're gonna have a little friendly competition.
That taco was good though.
This guy ate my taco is what happened. All right, let's get into it. All right, so first things first, Ryan is gonna go ahead and I'll administer the drill. Ryan's gonna be our shooter. The first thing is you can go ahead and draw your firearm, inspect it, we're good. All right, so what we wanna do here is to go ahead and isolate your firing hand from its support hand. So go ahead and present your firearm. What we wanna do here is go ahead and flag that thumb up as about as high as you can get it, and take your your pinky and your ring finger and go ahead and release those. All right, now what we want to do here is use your middle finger to squeeze the firearm back into your palm. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go eyes and ears here before we start firing. Now, the first series of fire is going to be 5 rounds. I want you to fire 1 at a time at the top left corner. All right, shoot 1 round and then we'll go ahead and see where you're at and see if we can correct your shot. All right, we're a little to the left, a little high. Okay.
How many shots?
1 more. So did we anticipate that last one?
Yeah.
I saw you lean forward a little bit, right? And then you kind of walked it back in. So as you guys can see here on the target cam, what we have here is Ryan basically arrowheaded these 3 right here. His first shot was a little high and his last shot was a little wide. And you'll see it on the other camera here that he did have some anticipation. So what we're seeing here, Ryan, is that consistently your shots, if you have a great sight picture, which I'm assuming you do, consistently your shots are to the left. Now amplify that, that's at 3 yards. Take that back to 20 yards, we'll probably be seeing something maybe a little bit more out here. Yep. Right? Maybe even a little further. So what we can do there is if you're pushing your shot that way, it probably means that you either have too much finger on the trigger or you don't have enough, and that's forcing your firearm to roll. So it's up to you here if you want to make an adjustment to your trigger and go ahead and see if we can put them inside the block. Okay. All right, off range.
You'll just do 3-finger action.
Yeah, still 3-finger action, still on the same target location, 5 more rounds. Pause. I want to make sure that you're not forcefully extending your pinky and your ring finger because that's going to add additional tension in your wrist that we don't need. I just want you to relax those 2 fingers off the firearm frame. Stop. So that's 5. So now we know that at least there's some room for improvement, right? You could always walk that back over by manipulating the amount of trigger that you're putting on, or finger that you're putting on the trigger. Another thing here that we always like to promote, at least to our advanced firearm students, I know Ryan does, is the use of firing with your non-dominant hand, right? So assume that you're in a defensive firing situation, not marksmanship, you're not out on the range looking to score high, you're looking to reduce a threat, and maybe you sustain a dominant hand injury. You should be training on how to load and unload with one hand, but you should also learn how to fire with both your dominant and your non-dominant hand. So what this drill does is it actually forces you to shoot 20 rounds with your non-dominant hand. What that does is it creates a bilateral relationship across your brain between your dominant hand and your non-dominant hand. So when you come back to having both hands on your firearm, the connection is there, and you'll be able to better understand what the full force of fire feels like with your hands, with both hands combined. So we're gonna do, now hey, real quick, I'm not the expert. I don't even think Z's the expert. I think this Dr. HASELHUHN is the expert. But to find out more about that, please, again, head over to Instructor Z, check him out, all right?
Also watch the podcast. You did a podcast interview with Z, what, 4 or 5 months ago?
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Head over to the podcast. There should be a channel that'll pop up, a playlist that'll pop up right here. That'll take you over there to the episode we did with Instructor Z. He's an awesome guy. We have a lot to learn from him, and I think he's an asset to this community. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to switch the course of fire here to using the support hand only. We're going to do 10 rounds and see if Ryan can, you know, get shots on target.
So same thing, support hand though, 3 fingers?
Yes.
Okay.
Same thing, support hand, 3 fingers. We're going to do 5 rounds and then 5 rounds on the the top right target. Don't rush it. That's 5. All right, very good. So first time on this target, cold firing, just came off the truck eating tacos, shooting with your non-dominant hand. Let's go ahead and approach the target. So your first three were right here. That's a good shot.
Yeah.
You know, 1-inch grouping from, 3 yards away. That's a nice shot. Went a little wide here, but this was the first shot after your reload. So I think you lost your point of sight, right?
Yeah.
I think you lost your true sight picture here. And then your last one, once you brought it back on, you're still, I would call that, would you call that? You'd count that, right?
Yeah.
I'd count that.
Yeah.
Split, it broke the plane.
Yeah.
So not bad with your non-dominant hand. Let's go ahead and put 5 more on it, and then we'll move back into your dominant hand.
Okay.
All right, shooters ready? That's 5. All right, so all over the place there. You guys can see it on the camera there.
Rushed it a little bit.
Yeah, we definitely rushed it. Let me go ahead and boost this camera up a little bit so you guys can see what I'm seeing here. Add a little bit. So definitely rushed it there. I saw your first course of fire was a lot better than your second course of fire. We are allowed to go 10 to 20 rounds here. So if the shooter feels like putting 5 more rounds down there and trying it out, we can. If not, we're going to go back to the primary hand. So choice is yours.
Surprised me.
All right, we're going to go back to the non-dominant hand and see if we can clear out the rest of that black.
On the
Top right corner.
Okay.
So shooters ready?
Yeah.
Go ahead. All right. So 4 out of 5 on that. Not terrible, not great. Seems like you're pushing a little bit, pushing the firearm over with your trigger finger, but that's, I guess, to be expected for somebody that's never ran this drill before. So, all right, let's go ahead and go back to the primary hand and put 5 rounds on the lower left corner.
How many fingers?
Same drill.
Lower left.
Yeah, lower left.
What the fuck?
Yeah, anticipated hard. Watch your body drop. All right, pause.
That was fucking...
All right, so what we saw there, ladies and gentlemen, you guys will see it on the high speed as well. Not high speed, the close-up, was Ryan's entire body shifted forward. So not only did you lose your sight picture, you lost everything with that shot. And we went way down to the left. Why is that important, guys? As we say in all of our classes, and Ryan can repeat this here, you are responsible for every single round that you put down range. Now, at 3 yards, that bullet only went about 3 yards off the target, or I'm sorry, 3 inches off the target. But at 20 yards, who knows where that bullet would have went, right?
Oh yeah.
It's very important that you guys are consistently coming back out to the range to improve your accuracy. Again, that was a single hand unsupported with only 2 fingers on the actual firearm itself. But we should still try to control that as best we can. Let's go ahead and put 5 more rounds, same drill, same target.
I'll probably need another magazine from you. Yep.
Here you go. No, dominant hand.
Oh shit, that's right.
All right. So what we saw there, all 5 rounds landed in the same 1-inch square. However, it was 1 inches to the left of the target that we wanted to hit. So
You want me to go bottom right hand?
no. Downrange. So all 5 of your shots were here. What we want to see is all 5 of your shots here.
Okay.
So, you know, you can make a decision right now either to adjust your trigger finger on the trigger itself and see if we can bring that over by some small adjustments. Again, this is called the isolation drill. We want to isolate that trigger finger only.
I'm gonna do that.
So we can walk it back over. We did expend all 10 rounds on this target, so I don't know if you want to consider that a failure. We could go back through it, or we could put both hands together. We want to put 10 rounds in this target here. So let's go ahead and do
5 more with the trigger finger.
You want to try 5 more here?
Yeah.
All right, let's make a small adjustment and see if we can adjust the course fire there. All right, shooters ready?
Yep.
All right. First few shots, Ryan, were pretty good. You did make an adjustment. I saw it on your finger. I saw you walk it back into the firearm, almost like you wanted to milk it back to the right a little bit.
Yeah.
Your first 3 shots were great. Your last 3 shots, everything was bottom left. So, again, I'm not in your brain, so I don't know if you had the same exact sight picture.
A little bit of a rush again.
Could have been rushed. As we start to pick apart the black on the target, it's a lot harder to pick up that sight picture because there's no, you know, forward sight on that. So let's go ahead and put everything together now. Let's put both hands back on the firearm and shoot with both hands. Again, what we're trying to concentrate on here, remember what it felt like to only shoot with to only support the firearm with 1 finger, right? Everything was fine shooting with 1 finger. So why do we want to force too much on that, right? Let's make sure that we have firm support of the firearm to manage that recoil, but at the end of the day, this is isolation of that firearm and your trigger finger. Let's make that happen. Let's do 10 rounds, 5 rounds each, bottom right corner. Shooters ready? Go ahead. That's fine. All right, first shot dropped. The next 3 were great. And the last one was a little low as well. I did not see your first shot. I wasn't watching your firearm to see if you anticipated. But your last one did not look like you had any muzzle drop. All right, let's go ahead and do it again.
Need another magazine.
All right, shooters ready? Go ahead. All right, so again, 80% of your shots were right within that 1-inch block. You had one shot that went a little high left. But again, that's maybe just rushing it. I don't think that you're having a problem isolating your trigger finger. I think that that's on point. I think where the problem is mental now. Yeah. I think it's either a rush or maybe a flinch at the last second on your sight picture. But for the most part, at 3 yards with both hands, I would say that that's a whole lot of dead bad guys.
I think that taco messed me up mentally.
The taco?
Taco.
All right, so what did we learn, guys? We learned that there's always room for improvement, right? Ryan does this stuff every day, right? This is a new drill that we discovered. Hopefully this is something that we can introduce to some of our more advanced firearms classes. I'm up next, so we'll try to get a little bit of roll of that, but I like to keep my stuff on the hush. But guys, as always, there's always room to improve. Head over and check out Instructor Z. Again, there was a link back in the episode. There'll be one down in the description here to head over and check out that podcast episode, and links to find Z. When you go holler at him, let him know the Practical Training Professional sent you. And as always, guys, train, defend, prevail. We're out.